just finished A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, and it was great. 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. It was a great ending, though there's a but. But I liked A Court of Mist and Fury the best. That is my favorite in the series so far, because there's gonna be more. Next year there's gonna be another book. And I don't know if it's with the same characters. I don't think it's with the same characters, and that makes me sad because there's things I want resolved, which I will talk about later on in this review. But I did enjoy it a lot. 5 out of 5 stars. It took me a little bit to get through. The reason that being I was just like really, really busy. But I did finish it, and it was great. I loved it. It was a great ending. It was action-packed. And there's so much deception and so much planning. It was great. I loved it a lot. So I will get Jessica to continue talking about it with less greasy hair. Oh, jeez. But yeah, so Jessica, take it away. Hey guys, it's me, Jessica, and today, obviously, I'm doing a review for A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. The final book, it's not the final book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, but I think it's the final book of Rhys and Feyre, and that makes me sad. It makes me so sad. So I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, but I'm actually going to have to bring it back to like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I have some problems with this book, and the more I thought about this book, the more I didn't like it as much as I didn't. Not saying that it isn't a good book. It is a good book, but there are just things that, you know, I had high expectations, and sadly this book didn't meet all of them. So yeah, let's discuss that. If you haven't already read A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury, you really should get on that. I know me just saying that that the third one's not so great. Just disregard that. It is a good book. There are parts I absolutely love, otherwise I wouldn't. Oh, I thought I had marked them, but I guess I didn't mark them. This book is great though. It is good, and I do highly recommend this series. I'm just saying that the Throne of Glass series is like, it's my top, and then it's the Court of Thorns and Roses series. Like, I love both of them, but this one just comes second. So I'm gonna get into spoilers now, and let's just do this. Spoilers, here we go. Okay, so let's talk about the beginning, because the beginning was probably my favorite. Like, Feyre just kicking everyone's butt and taking names and being all sneaky and destroying the Spring Court from within. That was amazing. I wish there was a little more of that. Like, I love that so much. It was so great to see how she was like, yeah, I knew this person was gonna do this, and I knew that this action was gonna go this certain way, and even though some things didn't turn out, like with the Faebane and those two twins and the thing that happened with Lucien, you know, all of that, it wasn't part of her plan, but she adapted her plan and it still worked, and it was still absolutely amazing, and I love it a lot. That whole part, I loved it. I loved it so much. And like, poor Tamlin, I still don't really feel bad about Tamlin. Tamlin is just, I don't know how I feel about him. And I kind of hope he gets someone, but at the same time, I'm like, you have issues that you need to figure out. And I guess Feyre wasn't the girl to help him out with his issues. So yeah. I like that Lucien did go to the Night Court. I like that their circumstances had Lucien come with them. That part where they're running from Lucien's brothers and then they end up in the Winter Court and they're on the lake. Oh my gosh, and then Cassian and Azriel show up, and oh my gosh, that was one of my favorite parts. I absolutely loved it so much. The one thing I was a little disappointed about afterwards was the scene when Rhys and Feyre meet back together after like a month or so of just them being separated. That should have been a little more dramatic. It should have been more like, yes, they're back together, it's so great. And it was just kind of like, it didn't feel that way to me. It didn't feel like that kind of like triumph that they finally got back together type situation that I was just hoping for. I was just hoping for that, and it didn't happen. But, you know, I'm still happy they're together. So, this is great. This is so great. I love that a lot. Now, another thing I want to talk about that I didn't really like is how open-ended it felt. Like, the ending. And that's why I hope that the point of view shifts to Nesta's point of view, because there's so much. I really don't understand Nesta. And that's something that annoys me a little bit, because I started to get her. She starts to be like closer with Feyre, and they're taking care of Elaine, and they just have this great chemistry, and it's all three sisters together, and they're powerful, and it's great, and it's powering. And then their dad dies, and Nesta just goes back to the way she was before. And I know that's obviously kind of like what Feyre did with her like coping and things like that, but it just, I didn't really understand Nesta's whole point of view of being that closed off, and so I just really want to understand her a little more. And her and Cassie need to get together, because like, what is this? They're like so close, and they obviously care about each other, and they just don't get together, and I'm like, why aren't they together? And then another thing I'm like slightly disappointed about was how there was so much build up to this relationship between Mor and Azrael, and it doesn't happen because Mor is actually bisexual, leaning more towards lesbian. And like, I'm all for the whole LGBTQ plus like aspect of it. I'm like, great, Mor is bisexual, that is awesome. But the thing is, like, you've been building up this relationship that needs to happen between these two people, and it can never happen. It will never happen. And like, I ship Lucien and Elaine, but I'm also like slightly shipping Azrael and Elaine because they're so adorable together. Like, he's quiet and he just like watches her, and she is quiet and sweet and is a gardener, and it's, they're so adorable. And I haven't really seen enough of like Elaine and Lucien's reaction to really like ship them as much as I do Azrael and Elaine. Like, there's just so many things that I feel are so open, and they just need to be tied up. There's too many loose strings, and I don't like this. Another thing that I didn't like, the whole Amren thing, because like, I liked how she had sacrificed herself and she became her true form, and she had ended the battle, and that was great. But the whole thing after Rhys dies, which was quite emotional for me, and then she comes back, and then he comes back, and he's like, someone get Amren out of the cauldron, and everyone's like, wait, what? It felt like everyone was safe. Even with Elaine being kidnapped, it felt like every main character was safe from dying. Like, I was not scared that Cassie was gonna die, neither was I scared that Nesta was gonna die when they were diversions to get the king away from the cauldron. I never felt like they were gonna die. And unlike the Throne of Glass series, I feel like everyone is going to die in that series. And in this series, I felt like everyone was just safe. None of our main characters that we loved weren't gonna die, and that was one thing I didn't like. And even though I don't like characters dying, especially characters I don't like them feeling safe either. Like, cause that's a lot of reasons why people like watch TV shows or like read certain books, because you don't know if that person is safe. You don't know if your favorite character's safe. You don't know if you're just like waiting for that character you hate to die because you know they're not safe either. So I just wasn't very happy with that whole feeling that everyone was safe and having that actually come to fruition. So yeah, there's something I didn't like. Let's talk about the things I did like. I liked meeting all of the High Lords, because we've seen obviously the High Lord of the Summer Court and all these other courts, like Spring, Summer, and Night, and also like the Nightmare Court. Those were things that we saw, but we never saw like all of them, and I'm glad we did. And it was so great to see all of them. I really like the Dawn, the High Lord of the Dawn, Helios. I like him. He's cool. And then, what's his name? The Winter Court. I like them too. They're great. So I'm excited to see more of them. I hope we get to see more of them, and yeah. So the one thing I said in my A Court of Mist and Fury review is that I really wish that Feyre would learn how to fly, and she did! But she didn't fly in like a legion like I thought she would. They made flying really difficult, you know, and like her back was hurting and her shoulders were hurting every time she did training with Azriel, and like I get it's gonna be hard to learn how to fly, but I wish she had learned a little more than she had, because I thought it would have been cool to see like a battle in the middle of a battle where she has her wings and things like that, but that never happened. And that just, oh, I wish that happened. But I'm glad that that was something that did happen. That she learned how to fly, or she learns how to fly. I love like big battle scenes. So the attack on the Summer Court, when they go there, that was a great part. I love that part when they go, even though they have like those red rubies where they could die, where they're like killed on sight, they still go to help the Summer Court and this attack, and I love it. I love it so much. And I love how Feyre gets stuck in Rhys's mind as she sees the whole thing that happens with the king, because if she didn't, we wouldn't have saw that. And it was a great like plot tool to have us, to keep it in like, to keep the book in first person, but to have the reader see that perspective. So I was really excited about that. I love that part where her and Mor just kicking butt and taking names. It's so good. And that part where Tarquin's like, you better teach your wife or your mate not to speak out, and he's like, she's High Lady, she can do what she wants. I was like, oh, I love that. I love all the parts where where Rhys is like, she's High Lady, she can do whatever she wants. Oh, I love it so much. I love it. 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 That part in the Court of Nightmares. In the Court of Nightmares, that was a great part, where she's sitting on the throne and then Rhys is sitting on the arm of the throne, and he's just like, I'll just chalk this up to bad timing, but I expect two thrones to be here next time we come. And I was like, oh. So let's talk about Elaine and her power, like that she is a seer. I knew she was a seer right when Nesta and Feyre got attacked in the library, because she was talking about the ravens, the one black one and one white one, and then they showed up. I was like, oh my god, Elaine prophesized this. Elaine is a seer. Oh my gosh, that was so good. That was such a great, I love that a lot. I liked how Feyre kept talking about how the cauldron liked Elaine, so the cauldron gave her a gift, while Nesta took a gift. She was just like, nope, this power's mine now. I like that a lot. Yeah, so like I did like this book, but there were just like some things that could have been changed and stuff like that. Yeah, I kind of wish that there was a scene where like Feyre had actually got captured by the King of Hybern. I wanted to see that like interesting dynamic between those two, with just the two of them talking and like threatening each other. I thought that would be great, but that didn't really happen, and that's sad. So that's all I'm going to talk about. I do have some other things, but I feel like those are just like minute details that no one really cares about. So I'm gonna be done talking. I did enjoy this book, and I hope you guys liked this review. And if you did, please give it a like. Also, make sure to subscribe and comment down below what you thought of this book. If you liked it, if there are any parts you disliked or any parts you did like, go ahead and tell me. Also, if you want to ring that bell to get notified, you can do that. Also, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!